Woman divorces husband due to MIL. Now ex wants back after a year of hell. My ex and I were married for well over 5 years, and together for 10. His mother was a nightmare. She would spend her time belittling me and tried humiliating me. I could take it as I loved my husband and didn't want to make him choose between her or me. Of course, I would always tell him what she would be doing, and he would always brush it off as her being a loving and overprotecting mom. When she would say something racist, I am Hispanic and they are white, he would laugh it off. When she would make a comment of me being a gold digger, even though I earned more than my ex, he would just say, "Oh, mom." He would also get mad at me if I ever stood up for myself. But the straw that broke the camel's back is when we had our daughter. My MIL would always try to parent her and say that I would do something wrong. My daughter has an irritable colon, and she cannot ingest any kind of fucking oils or artificial things. And guess what that loony of a woman did? She fed my 3-year-old daughter essential oils, she is not anti-vax, just very stupid, to make her go to sleep. She was in the ICU. I had it, and I confronted my husband, who said, "She only did what she thought was best." I lost it. I went to my parents and drafted a divorce agreement. That's the best course of action. I saw a post earlier describing a situation that is much more dangerous than mine involving allergens and an EPI pen. His face was like that Pikachu meme when I served him. He didn't know why I was doing that because we were happy. So now a year has passed, and my life was hell. My monster-in-law tried every dirty trick in the book to take my daughter. To name a few, she accused my brother of molesting her. She accused me of neglect. She accused me of taking drugs and leaving them in reach of a toddler. I take thyroxine for heaven's sake. She accused me of endangering my daughter by leaving a random man in my house. The list goes on. During this time, the excuse of my ex was that I broke his heart and I had to understand his mother. She only wants what's best for him. Luckily, I got good representation and even got my daughter full-time, minus some weekends or visitation. I could prove that my daughter was endangered by his mother. So now to the advice part. I knew that my ex needed to be permanently in my life because of my daughter, and I was learning to live with that. He was very cold with me because, again, I broke his heart. Now, 2 things have come together. My ex Bill got married to an African-American woman, so of course my ex Mill flipped. I started dating again. My ex Bael is a great guy, and he actually stood up for his wife. Go figure, it is possible. I stay in contact with him because we are friends, and he was a mediator and fought with his brother quite often. So my Bill actually stood up for his wife, and my ex-husband got his panties in a twist. My BIL basically opened his eyes to how shitty he was being, and that their mom treated me the same way she treated his wife. And finally, my dense ex started understanding. The guy I am seeing is great. I have even met his parents, and his mother is normal. She treats me like a human being and has invited me already to many family functions, and tries to make me and my daughter feel welcomed. My ex got wind from the situation through a mutual friend, and guess who is now flipping his shit? He started bringing flowers and chocolate. I don't even like chocolate. To pick up our daughter. He sends me cards and SMS with hearts, and who knows what. Yesterday was the best thing. My daughter was at my mother's place, and I was at home with my boyfriend. He appears in front of my door crying and clutching my engagement ring, begging me to come back. I said no, and that he should go away. He wouldn't, and started demanding that I come out to talk to him. My boyfriend told him that he would call the police, and in his pathetic fashion, he threatened to beat my boyfriend up. I closed the door and let him pound sand. Today, he picked up my daughter for a day trip, and when they came back, my daughter was asking if I loved my boyfriend more than her. Now, I am at a loss to what to do. I already told my daughter that it was impossible because my love for her is infinite, and there is nothing bigger than infinite. But now I know that my ex is trying to make my daughter hate me. I am at a loss because I won't use my daughter as ammunition. But also, what the hell am I supposed to do? I will never return to that man, but I can't take away the father of my daughter. Do you guys have any advice? Edit, mini update. Thanks you all. I needed to vent and was feeling helpless, and am so thankful for you wonderful people. I talked to my lawyer who confirmed that we could have a case for domestic violence by proxy. A social worker will be visiting us in the next few days to talk to my daughter about this. Edit. Because apparently people want to spin the narrative on me. I don't care if he wants me back. I don't love him anymore and will never get back together with him. Staying for the sake of our daughter would not make sense, as it has been proven that kids grow up happier in divorced homes than unhappy homes. I tried talking to my husband when we were still married, and he would always brush it off. He would brush off everything his mother did. I complained to him and told him we needed to go to therapy, which he declined. He has his daughter on the weekends. The court gave me majority custody because of his mother. Jesus, guys, I guess in some of y'all's eyes, I should have kept being by my ex's side as a submissive bimbo. Update 1. So I have just left my daughter with my mother, and am going to my lawyer again. I followed some advice you guys gave me, and we sat down with my daughter to chit-chat. We knew we couldn't prompt any kind of responses by asking overly specific questions as per her therapist. So my mother asks my daughter, let's call her Kat, "Kat, what do you and Daddy talk about?" And Kat just listed many toddler things like she talks about kindergarten, games, etc. When I was kind of relieved that that comment my ex made yesterday may just be a one-off, came the big bomb. He also shows me pictures of houses and tells me I can have now 2 rooms with loads of stuff. I ask if her dad is buying a new house. Nope. Turns out that nut wants to take my daughter out of the country. He shows her pictures of beach houses and even bought her a bag so she can put her stuff inside it, which explains why so many of her clothes have gone missing. At first, I thought that maybe my ex hadn't told me yet because it hadn't come through. But no, he told my daughter to keep this as a secret because mommy would get sad if she knew that daddy was going away. So I am fucking livid. And also sad because I will have to tell my daughter no. Once again, I feel lost. Edit/update. I talked to my lawyer, and we have taken measures that I can't discuss here, but we are on it. I have my daughter's passport, as we flew last month to visit extended family. Also, I am a US citizen, so even if my ex-Mile tried to have me deported, that wouldn't be possible. Update 2. I didn't have enough evidence to request an ex parte, aka emergency child custody, so my lawyer and I had to work on steps to prevent child abduction. We got a custody decree that included provisions, including passports, travel restrictions, etc. We also had to be very wary of the signs. He in fact quit his job, and on a realtor's page, I saw that he was putting his mother's house on sale. That, and my daughter's words, was all we needed to notify law enforcement for them to keep an eye out. I couldn't prevent my daughter from seeing her father. We tried to continue business as usual, without my daughter feeling something was up. I got a call from the police department regarding the passport situation. My daughter's passport had expired very recently, 5 years validity. My ex-husband had tried to request a passport for my daughter without my knowledge, which was stupid because even without the decree, I had to be present or submit a notarized document of me stating that he could request the passport. After that, things actually went very fast. He was investigated because he violated the decree, and it was found out that Emile had bought 3 tickets with no return date to Mexico. I could request an ex parte. After a shit ton of documents, I submitted it. In most cases, the judge will evaluate behind closed doors. We had the hearing yesterday. It takes usually 10 to 20 days, which was very good for me. ATM, I have sole custody for my daughter. This is all temporary. My ex has visitation rights if I was present, but he can't take her anywhere. This is once the investigation of him is closed. I was cursed out by my ex and ex-MIL, and they said they will try to contest this, but they have no leg to stand on. My daughter will continue in therapy, especially after this. I will not prohibit him from seeing her, but he needs help.